Hi and welcome to Old Time Knowledge. Well, in this video, I am going to be making you a better sausage ball. I have a sausage ball video, but this one is from my Aunt Belle. I have had this recipe for over 30 years and I just found it. And well, maybe it's not been quite 30 years. It's been getting close to 30 years, but I just recently found it. And I noticed that it's different than the one that I've been making in more recent years. This one is better though. It tastes better. It's just so good. And it's just really small changes that improve it. So stick with me and we'll get right to it. All right, I'm speeding things up because there's no reason to be slow about this. You're going to use a pound of sausage. You can use hot or mild. I'm using mild. This is actually some I had in my freezer. I'm trying to use up some things that I had in my freezer. So that's what I've got here. This recipe, unlike my other sausage ball recipe, only calls for 10 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese. Now, I have 8 ounces here. I used a brick of cheese that I had in my refrigerator that's 8 ounces. I don't have a 10-ounce bag of cheese, so 8 ounces it is, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I'm putting on some gloves because I don't like mixing this with my bare hands. I just feel like I get sausage under my fingernails, and I just am not a fan of that. But anyway, it's also going to get 3 cups of baking mix. Now, I don't have Bisquick. It should be Bisquick, but they didn't have that at Walmart, so here it is, the great value, and it came out fine, y'all. I'm just telling you, it came out perfectly fine. So it gets 3 cups of Bisquick. In my other recipe, it calls for 2 cups of Bisquick. My other recipe also calls for twice as much cheese, but I don't think it's necessary. This is what makes it really different. It calls for a teaspoon of paprika. I don't know why I've not been using this, but this definitely kicks it up. It just adds some really great flavor to it. And I'm adding some cayenne. My Aunt Belle didn't have this in her recipe, but I wanted to add a little cayenne. Not a whole lot, but just enough to give it a little kick. So I am just going to work this and work this. And at some point, I'm going to add in just a splash of water because when you're mixing this sausage ball recipe, a lot of times it can just get dry. If you leave the sausage out to come to room temperature before you start doing this, it's a little easier, but I just don't like to do that. So instead, I would rather just add a little bit of water because it just does the same thing. So I'll be adding some here in just a second. It's just, you can see it's kind of dry, but now I've added in a splash of water. And it'll be easier to work all together. And as soon as I have it so that it's all holding together in one big ball, then it'll be ready to shape into the little sausage balls. Now I'm preheating my oven to 350 degrees. Her recipe card said that this will make 100 servings. So I must have made my sausage balls just a little bit bigger than what she would have done because I think I ended up with once I did the 2 pans I ended up baking, I think I ended up with 75 of these sausage balls. That's gracious plenty. Anyway, but the point is this will make a whole lot. And one thing that I found I like better about this is in the recipe that I've been using in more recent years, it uses a full pound of cheese, and it seems excessive. But also, my son's not a huge fan of cheddar cheese, and so he doesn't end up eating a lot of sausage balls, but these he tasted and he likes these better. He did say that he thinks he might actually like more sausage in them, so at some point I might come up with a recipe that uses more sausage and a little less biscuit mix, but this is what I'm doing today, and I love this recipe, and this is going to be my go-to recipe going forward. This is definitely a better sausage ball. I love the addition of the paprika. I love the fact that the cheese, I think, in the biscuit is more balanced with the sausage. These are so flavorful. In my other sausage ball recipe, some people commented that they like to serve this with a sauce on the side. I'm sure there's all kinds of sauces that you can serve with this. If you have any ideas about that, I would love to hear them in the comments below. One thing that comes to mind is you might use some sort of a mustard sauce because I know sausage and mustard goes well together in biscuits. But you might have some different kinds of sauces or dips that you think would be good for these. Regardless, it seems like sausage balls are just the quintessential Christmas hors d'oeuvre. You can have these on your little buffet table with the miniature biscuits that I made. You can have some pepper jelly and cream cheese with some crackers. You can have some of the bacon and cheese crackers, which I'm doing in another video. You can have a whole variety of different little hors d'oeuvres along with cookies and things like that. And I mean, isn't that just one of the best parts of the Christmas season is just enjoying all the delicious finger foods that we can eat. One great thing about sausage balls is you can make them ahead of time and then freeze them and then take them out for like the night before you're going to serve them, let them thaw out in the refrigerator, and then when you want to actually serve them, you can pop them back in the oven at say 350 and heat them right back up until they're, hot as you want them, and serve them, and it'll be like you've just baked them. These are so good. So I'm going to jump ahead to actually getting these in my oven. These are only going to bake for about 12 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. I think you'll be able to tell when they're done. And I'll bring you back. All right, so here we are. It's been about 13 or 14 minutes, and these sausage balls are ready. They look fantastic, and I can't wait to try them. They're super hot right now, so I'm going to give them a few minutes just to come down in temperature a little bit, and then I'll give them a taste. Alrighty, I'm moving them over to this little adorable plate with the holly on it. It was from Dollar Tree. I love these so much. You might want to pick one up. These are going to be great to put your appetizers and hors d'oeuvres on for Christmas. So anyway, I'm going to get these all moved over, and then I'm going to give these a taste. I've actually got another pan of them to bake. And while those are in the oven, I am sampling these. And in fact, I didn't get video of me sampling them, but I promise you I tried them and they are out of this world. These are so good. These are so much better than the earlier sausage ball recipe, which was already really good. But this one is better, y'all. I'm just telling you. So I hope you'll try them. I hope you'll let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have sauce or dip ideas, give me those in the comments too. I would love those suggestions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.